Hey guys, what is up? It is Smasher Gaming here, and welcome back to yet another Injustice Gods Among Us video. We're not going to be doing any battles today. In this video, we are going to be talking about the cards that need to be buffed and that need to be nerfed. Now, the first card I think needs to be buffed is Nightfall Bane, and the reason why is that its basic damage is crappy. Venom Overdose is actually a really good passive ability that he gains 150% more power for 8 seconds. And I think the Thundering Dropkick's damage needs to get, I think, a 10% damage buff because it's really crappy. If you pair it with the Black Lantern Ring, that would obviously help it because it will give a 10% plus damage boost to Special 2, plus it will life drain it, but that's actually for Special 1. Now, the original Bane needs, Regime Bane also needs a buff to his passive ability, which is really crappy. 25% increased damage for 6 session space should make it to 8 seconds, just like Nightfall Bane and Bane, the way that he is. Venom Uppercut does a decent amount of damage for 1530 health. Or 1530 health. Arkham or Night Batgirl should stay the same with a really good stats with 1375 damage and 1325 health. Those are one of the best stat cards in the game. And Try to Keep Up is such an amazing second move. It should be nerfed by 5% since it does so much damage because of the God You're Back. It's such a good passive. And I like the passive mechanic because when you put in just say Arkham Killer Croc. If Arkham Killer Croc gets knocked out, they will have it with the Smoke Bomb and it will leave Arkham Killer Croc at a sliver of health. Now, Batman, I think, kind of needs a serious buff because with the basic stats of 700 damage and 1000 health, those are crappy stats. It should be about 850 damage and 1100 health. That would be kind of better. Explosive Battering does a decent amount of damage. The Way of the Bat, I think, needs a big buff because he is level 50 Elite 3. It should be to 27,514 to 28,200 or something because it's very crappy. The Dark Knight should get buffed to about 3,600 in its super. Now, Animated Batman Beyond, and I don't know why it does that, but he does need a damage buff to his Winning Edge ability. I mean, it's really good if you use an Explosive Battering, basic attacks. Future Bat rises the crit chance, and the Dark Knight increases the crit damage. Now, Blackest Night Batman is fine because in patch 2.8, I believe, they raised the damage. Now, Black Adam needs kind of a serious buff right now with its Lightning Aura because when Black Adam tags him, he gains an aura that deals damage to the opponent and lasts 5 hits, or 3 hits. Now, Lightning Strike is basically just Regime and Kandak Black Adam's second ability. It's just named the same thing. Now, Kandak Black Adam actually needs to kind of get a buff with really good basic damage. I forgot what his basic damage was, but he kind of needs a buff to the Thunder King ability. But the Thunder King is really good. If you pair it up with Batman, it does really good damage. Now, Catwoman needs a serious buff because I have not used this card in such a long time. With Razor Claws as the ability, Catwoman's basic attacks deal 50% more damage, suffering from damage over time, which is actually a really good passive. But the fact that Catwoman has very crappy starting stats, it should be changed. Now, Cyborg, all in all, is a very fun card to use with self-repair, which is actually kind of a good passive, but it's a crappy passive at the same time. Now, target acquired. That is actually Deadshot's first special ability's name. They really need to change it to target. They really need to change it to, like, probably Eternal Strike or something. I don't know what the heck. Now, Teen Titans Cyborg needs a serious buff, and the reason why I think it needs a buff is that its basic damage with over 700 damage and over 1,000 health is really crappy. I haven't used him in such a long time. Now, Darkseid needs kind of a buff, and the reason why is because the Fire of Apocalypse doesn't deal crap. It only does 2,010 damage at level 11, but the empowered minions is so overpowered, he's gonna need a nerf to 200% health and damage instead of 300. Now, Deathstroke, I think, will need a buff to its point blank. Its point blank is actually kind of overpowered, but paid mercenary. For each knockout that Deathstroke deals, he gains a 25% damage with his next special attack. It should be, I think, 20%. Because, as you know, with Red Sun Deathstroke, if you hit the 200 damage on the point blank, it will deal crit damage. You can pair that with the double LexCorp gear and just not have anything to do with it at all. Now, Doomsday kind of needs a buff / a nerf, and what I think, I'm going to start leveling up this card to get the Mass Destruction. I don't know yet. The Hero Killer is the one that needs to get knocked out. It should only give him 40% more health instead of give him 50% more health for the Hero Killer. Now, Green Arrow is a fantastic card all in all. The Freeze Arrow just needs a bit of a buff to its damage. Instead of 373, it should go up to 410. Just for damage causes. And the Bowblade, and that is actually a really... I never knew that this was as passive. That Green Arrow deals damage whenever he blocks an attack. Well, I actually did know that. Now, Green Lantern needs a big buff to his Rocket Barrage. It should deal... so my Green Lantern's level 12. It should deal from 1,648 to 1,740 because it just needs to do a little bit more damage, and the overtime, it just gets it. Now, Red Lantern Hal Jordan definitely needs a buff with 950 damage and 1,400 health. His stats are pretty good. His Red Lantern Rage needs to get kind of nerfed because if you use a Beware My Power, it takes half of his health away. It should take about only 35% of his health away. And the Rage of Atrocitus needs to get a big buff from 2,446 damage to 2,690 damage. Now, the reason why is that it just needs to be buffed. Now, Regime and New 52 Green Lantern are fine the way they are. It's just that their damage needs to go up a bit. Now, Harley Quinn is a fun card to use, just with the constant healing with the Bag of Tricks. And the cards that... So, in the next... We're going to actually talk about the cards that they need to add while battling. Now, Arkham Knight Harley Quinn needs kind of a buff, because I did remember I got her out of this challenge. And her Batter Up and her Bag of Tricks are completely maxed out. So her Batter Up deals almost 3,000 damage. We're going to level her up and do some more good things. Now, Regime Hawk Girl also needs a buff with 5,808 damage. It should go up to 5,900 damage, and it should go up to 10,000 health at level 30. And it's not going to be that overpowered. Now, Arkham Killer Croc is fine the way he is with his passive. His passive needs to kind of get a little bit nerfed. So, he's going to need to get nerfed once he gets that. Or I don't know what the heck. Now, Lex Luthor needs a nerf, or he needs a buff, because his advanced power source does nothing. Lex Luthor and his teammates gain 15% more damage. Batman's passive is 10 times better than that. Now, Crypto Lex Luthor also needs a buff for his world domination, because if you pair the Kryptonite Shard, it does massive damage. With the constant opponent's power being drained, yeah. Now, Lobo needs a kind of a good buff, because his Carnian Psychology is the most overpowered passive ability in the game, with its immune to power drain. So, if you did a Lance Blast, or if you did an Electric Arrow or Ground Sparks, it absolutely does nothing. Just like Static, how he's immune to power drain. Bounty Hunter Lobo, I think, is fine the way he is with his Mr. Machete, but I think the dot damage for overtime needs to get increased to 8 seconds, and the dot damage needs to go up probably by 15%, because the dot damage is just crap. Now, New 52 Nightwing, I think, is a pretty fun card with his Lone Bird ability. It needs to get buffed with only 8,702 damage to 9,100. That should be the good buff. Now, Rebirth Raven is a really fun card. Honestly, in my point, if you tag it in with Batman, they do insane damage. And plus, if you get the crit damage off, it does massive damage. So you can synergize with Arkham Killer Croc or Rebirth Jessica Cruz if you can just do that. Now, I think Shazam is really fun. He's way more powerful than Superman, which my Superman has over 11,000 health, and Shazam can still take him out with the constant of his passive ability, Lightning Fury. When he performs his super, Shazam deals 300 basic damage and takes 50% less damage, and may perform special attacks without using any power for 12 seconds. That should go down to 10 seconds because it's overpowered, and the power of Shazam needs to get a major buff, because only at level 24, it only deals 1,900 damage. It should be to about 6,000. Honestly, Shazam needs a big buff. Now, Solomon Grundy is very trash. I would not recommend you getting his Swamp Origin Undead Strength or his Reanimation, because he is so trash that I don't even know how to describe him. Freak you, Solomon Grundy. Now, Superman needs to get the major buff because he has the worst stats in the game, besides from Boss Solomon Grundy at 1,500 damage, 550 damage and 1,100 health. That needs to go up to at least 600 damage. Now, the only one I have is Lois Lane, because these are so freaking expensive. They need to put this down to at least 10,000 and 12,000. Now, the Flying Punch needs a kind of a big buff, and his damage needs to get up because he only deals 3,000 damage, and he was my first ever gold card to get on this. Now, the Arkham Knight could use a small buff. When you pair with the Blue Lantern Ring, it does very good because it heals over 700 of his health. Out of 7,000 health that he has, you can really pair it up with double LexCorp, and it would just do massive damage. Now, the Flash is the most powerful bronze card in the game with 280 damage and 180 health, but his health needs to go up to at least 200. And so with New 52, the Flash, they both have the same health stats, and they need to go up because his Sonic Pound is extremely good when you get it off. Now, the last couple of cards I'm going to talk about is number 1, the Killing Joke Joker at 950 damage and 750 health of starting health. It should be 1,000 damage and 850 health, and that would be basic. Now, the reason why, and killing, I don't know, but Killing Joke Joker needs to go down to 50 alliance credits instead of 60 alliance credits. And the reason why is that this needs to get so nerfed. His damage needs to go up, his health needs to go up, etc. Now, Wonder Woman is a really good card because she is actually really hard to deal with her Olympian strength. Each time Wonder Woman blocks a special or basic attack, she gains a 50% bonus to the damage of her next special attack, which is really good. So say if you use a Justice Javelin, will that eliminate an opponent? Now, the two cards are Zatanna and Regime Wonder Woman, with Regime Wonder Woman having 700 damage and 950 health. It's really not that good, but, I mean, even though that I haven't maxed out, with the 4th World Godly Chestplate, she can do really good miracles because of the reflection damage and the chance to take no damage from basic attacks is just really good. Now, the final card we're going to be talking about is Zatanna. The reason why I need to talk about Zatanna is that her damage needs to go up. It's 900 damage and 1,000 health. It needs to go up to about that much health. So let's go ahead and do some battles and level up Arkham Knight Harley Quinn and Zatanna to get both of their specials. Or both of their specials up and locked. So we're going to put on... Of course we're going to put... wherever the heck Arkham Knight Harley Quinn went. We're going to put in Arkham Knight Harley Quinn and Zatanna. Because they're like really close to level 20. Now for Harley Quinn, we're going to give her the Kryptonite Shard for more power generation and to get her to Special 2 faster. Now for Zatanna, we're going to give her the Killer Croc Companion card. So let's go ahead and start leveling these guys up. And I'm also going to be talking about the cards that need to be added into the game. Now, one of the cards that needs to be added is Poison Ivy. I don't know why Poison Ivy is in Injustice 2, but not Injustice Gods Among Us, which is actually kind of rigged. So, I wonder if Warner Bros. Is hearing this. I want Poison Ivy to be added in the game. And if she's not added into the game, I'm going to be so pissed off. So let's keep going. And the block is not going to do jack. And that one is going to do damage. And that one's going to do damage. And there's the tag in to Nightfall Bane. Rage Slam blocked for 1800. Now this is the reason why I wanted her at 2 bars. Let's do an unblockable bomb. And we're already at 2 bars, and here comes a Thunderous Dropkick. Let's do Tarot cards. And it's a Fool card, which makes me get stunned, which is so stupid. And we're going to go ahead and get rid of Bane with the Fire Kiss for the victory in the first fight. And I don't know why they only gained 1,000 XP, which is not really something that should happen. So let's do another battle. And if your guy's power is flickering on and off, just like mine is kind of doing right now. So let's tag into Zatanna. And we're going to get off with a Fire Kiss. Now let's get an Arkham Knight Harley Quinn. The dot damage actually on... And that Cleaver Spin is going to do some massive damage. But I need to see... Let's go ahead and get off the damage boost and tag in Batman. Which is going to do some insane damage. We're going to go ahead and take the Cleaver Spin. And I hate Solomon Grundy for what he's doing right now of him keep blocking. Look at him. He's going to keep blocking. We're going to get off with a Way of the Bat. And this From the Grave will kick in. Ultimate Liftoff block for 3676. And the damage boost is still going on, but we just can't tell. And a Justice card is going to give us a damage boost, which is really good. Earthshake, which is really bad. And we're going to go off with the Dark Knight, and Doomsday is eliminated. And let's go off with an unbreakable bomb. Get wrecked, stupid zombie. And Harley Quinn will get down, but we're going to go ahead and get rid of the freaking blocking Solomon Grundy all day. And there's the 14,400 experience, and we get Harley Quinn's special, or super attack. And we're going to get Zatanna's, and then we're going to end off the episode. And Nightwing just gets decimated. His battering is going to connect for 5,000. And we're going to get off with the Dark Knight, and Batman is eliminated. There he goes. And there's the level up on Zatanna. Let's go ahead and unlock her Abracadabra. So if you like this video, guys, I'm going to end it here. If you guys are enjoying Injustice Guides Among Us, hit the like button down below. And if you're idle new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!